Hey there, I'm Lee Ullman here with some big news from the National Young Farmers Coalition. We're partnering with Heritage Radio Network on a special season of The Farm Report. It's all about what's happening with the Farm Bill and how it impacts farmers and eaters.
I am growing diversified vegetables on land that's been in our family for 150 years.
And so with the pandemic, gentrification, property values going up, we had to sell the land and we lost it.
Join us as we uncover the untold stories behind this massive piece of legislation that shapes how we grow our food, what we eat, and so much more.
The problems we have had, those are things that come from earlier Farm Bill and USDA policy, right? Like Earl Butz, get big or get out.
You know, it's my responsibility to know not only what I'm eating, but then like how that all came to be. And realize like, wow, like this piece of legislation, all this money, like it's technically something that I support as a taxpayer.
While Congress debates the next Farm Bill, this is not just an invitation to listen. It's a call to action. Be part of the conversation. Subscribe to the Farm Report on Heritage Radio Network, wherever you listen to podcasts.
Today's show is sponsored by Bob's Red Mill. With natural foods, they support organic, vegan, paleo, and gluten-free lifestyles. Learn more about their commitment to good food for all at bobsredmill.com/podcast.
Thank you for listening to Heritage Radio Network. We are a member-supported, nonprofit food radio station. That means that every single thing we do, from broadcasting 35 weekly shows for free, to bringing you exclusive content from sold-out food events across the country, to offering scholarships to high school students, is only possible thanks to the support of our loyal members. And we want you to join the club. Become a member during our 2017 summer drive to get access to sweet swag and pledge your support to the world's only food radio station. Visit heritageradionetwork.org/donate to become a member now.
We talk about food, we talk about music, with musical dudes, finger on the pulse, snacky tunes.
Driving down the road with blood in my veins. Driving down the road, driving down the road. Red lights driving me insane. Driving down the road with blood in my hair. Driving down the road to get out of here. It's the wrong season, the wrong year. The dead horse beating in my mind needs to be in the clear. Desert sun on my face, burn away all my pain. Run away from here. Desert dreams burn my mind, sand race all the time. All my tracks, all my tracks, all clear. Flying in the sky with clouds in my eyes. Flying in the sky, distance is making me okay. Flying in the sky with clouds in my mind. Flying in the sky, flying to a clean state. It's the right season. in the right ear. The white horse flying my mind away into the whispering clear. Desert sun on my face, put away all my pain. Run away from here. Desert dreams burn my mind, send a race all the time. All my tracks, all my tracks, all clear.
Ciao. Welcome to Snacky Tunes. I am with Chef Neal Fraser, chef and owner of Redbird and Vivian in downtown LA. Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
Oh, thanks
Sorry
for.
it was so elusive.
Oh, we run on our own schedule,
That's good.
and
I'm getting pitched out, so
we have found that interviews happen when they're supposed to happen.
that's good.
So you've been in the kitchens for quite a long time.
I've been cooking for a couple years. Yeah.
How old were you when you got started?
My first restaurant job was in high school.
Yeah.
My first restaurant job was at high school. I raced bicycles, and a guy I raced bicycles with also was a chef, kind of got me involved in cooking. He worked at a place called Outside China. It was like a Chin Chin ripoff. And I worked there in high school, weekends, things like that, working the pantry station and the Hunan oven. I probably worked there maybe 30 or 40 days. I worked at Baskin Robbins when I was in junior high. And then I started cooking, after my kind of put my professional cycling career to bed.
What made you put that cycling profession to bed?
Kind of a litany of, bad things. Some good, some bad. My high school girlfriend got pregnant. Find out shortly thereafter that it was my child, and ended up having a child when I was 21. Just not really making it in college. Doing very well as a professional cyclist, making $2,000 to $3,000 a year, and I wasn't cutting it. And I was riding down the escalator at the Stone Hills Mall in San Francisco, and I got to the bottom of the escalator. I decided I wanted to be a chef, and I moved back to Los Angeles from San Francisco, and moved back in with my parents. There was one restaurant in Laurel Canyon at the time. I knocked on the door. It was called Coyote, and asked the chef for a job. He said, "You start right now."
Amazing. What year was this?
This was 1989.
Do you think that someone could do that now, just knock on a restaurant's door and just get a job just like that?
Yes, I think you can knock on a door of a restaurant and get a job. Yes, absolutely.
Really?
And I wish more people would knock on my door and ask for jobs.
So if I were to knock on your door and say I have limited to basic skills, not restaurant skills, where would I start?
I usually say, I'll pay you when you can get to the point where I, can afford to pay you.
Gotcha.
A little different back then. I was probably making, $3, $3.50, $4 an hour.
Yeah.
Which
went a little bit further back then.
It was expensive. We were selling pizzas for $18 and pastas for $19. I was making $30 or $40 a day. And it's different now with the minimum wage going up, but I have a guy in my kitchen right now, no experience. Was washing dishes. Friend of one of my friends, or son of one of my friends. Family member of one of my friends. And he's starting out at the bottom, and he worked a couple days for free, and we gave him a job as a dishwasher, and he's killing it. He's trying to get in there and do the best job he can possibly do, and that's really, when you're talking about trades, that's what you need. You need a good work ethic. The rest we can teach you.
Yeah, it's skill and intuition. At a point too as well, right?
I think all that can be taught. I think that the idea that we're not curing cancer in the kitchen. We're cooking food, and I think that I can teach just about anybody. When I mean me and my sous chefs and the people who are management in my kitchen. I think we can teach anybody how to be a good line cook.
So you're working in Laurel Canyon, and when did it go from I want to do food and it sounded like you knew that you wanted to do it to being like, I'm really going to make a run at this. Like I really want to go all in. Maybe even think about starting working at higher end places and business. What was that switch for you?
I had a friend that I met at Valley College. I was kind of dabbling in going to college, and I went to San Francisco State for a semester, went to Valley College in the San Fernando Valley for a couple semesters. And I'd met a guy in photojournalism class, and he also was kind of getting the tickle to be a chef. He got a job at a restaurant called Eureka. I was working at this pizza place. That being said, this pizza place was started by a guy named Ed Ledoux. Ed Ledoux's first job was in Spago. He invented the California pizza. He went on to start a pizza chain called California Pizza Kitchen.
CPK?
He was a raging alcoholic and sold all of his shares the day before they went public and opened a little pizza place in Lower Canyon. And over the course of the next 15 years, drunk a couple bottles of Jack Daniels every day and ended up dying from alcoholism, unfortunately.
Woof. Was that a, I mean, given the notorious lifestyle of what chefs could be, especially in the 90s, was that a lesson to you to sort of stay on the straight and narrow, or was it?
I don't know if I was that aware. I think, at a certain point, you if you're in a situation that's, not so unique, I think you kind of own it up to, like, that's the way it is. I mean,
right.
I was, talking to my mom today. I'm, unfortunately or fortunately, I've lost a lot of friends. I've lost friends to, painkillers that led to heroin, that led to overdoses, to death.
Yeah.
I mean, one of my, my second job at Eureka, which was where this guy Dan got a job, which was Wolfgang Puck's second or third restaurant.
Sure.
I was a prep cook there. One of my biggest mentors there, his name was Eric Karp, was a drug addict as a kid, was clean and sober for a very long time, had some back problems, started, taking some medication for his back, and got, hooked up with heroin again and OD'd, one of my, early career, just a rock star in the kitchen, just a super amazing guy. And unfortunately, the dragon got him,
Yeah, I mean, I think it's tough to watch. I mean, especially when you're a career chef, as the way that you are, and you've been through all these big kitchens, to see that sort of lifestyle and know, is this a problem, or is this just sort of what's accepted as part of the trade?
I think things have really changed. I think that times have changed. I don't drink with my staff. I drink with my staff once or twice a year.
Yeah.
Maybe individuals I'll take out to dinner from here to here, but I don't hit the bar with my staff after work. I mean, that was commonplace when I was a kid. Every chef I worked with, you got done with service, you took him out to the bar, you drove him home in the morning. If they're, you pick them up the next day, drive them back to work. I mean, you were basically chauffeur, commis. This was my life. The people that I got to experience that with, I learned a lot from. Mark Valiani, another guy I worked for, who was the sous chef at Eureka. I worked with him at Spago. I worked with him at Rocks. We used to go drinking, or almost every night. Or we'd go somewhere. We'd play baseball after. We do all sorts of stuff. That stuff, it just doesn't exist anymore. I mean, all that stuff has been pushed out of me by, it just being abused. Not being able to manage my people in that way. I have to manage a little more professional. And
it's you work for some great names. You work for Keller, you work for Wolfgang, you work there, and aside from the discipline, what did you take away from when working at those places and sort of like understanding what it meant to manage a team, which is, I think, something that is rare today, to find people who really understand how to manage and run a restaurant, the team they work with. What did you learn during that era of cooking as you're starting to think about what it would be like to open up your own place?
I mean, all the chefs are very different. The way their styles are very different. Wolfgang was very kind to people in the kitchen. To a point, he was very I don't say passive aggressive, but always kind of like jokingly. Like we always have a joke. Like Wolfgang would come to the kitchen and he'd see you. He goes, "I thought I fired you already." Like he would make kind of condescending jokes that were meant to be funny.
Yeah.
But they were condescending. Thomas was super serious. Barely cracked a smile. Very intense. One of my favorite kitchen stories when I was working at Checkers with Thomas down the street. He was really upset at this grill cook. There was this big white kid, 6'2", 6'3", just strapping white kid, and somehow he got the nickname of Sunshine. And he served some bad food one time, and this is the only time I saw Thomas really lose his cool. And he basically picked a fight with the guy in the middle of service. He goes, "Sunshine, I want you to come over across the line right here on the pass because I'm going to kick your fucking ass." Wow. And he was not joking about it. It wasn't like, if he would have gone there, this guy would have gotten punched in the face.
I mean,
and the guy packed up his bag and he walked out the back door. I never saw him again.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like Thomas Keller could hold his own in a fight.
Yeah, he's a big dude.
He's a big dude.
Definitely bigger than me. I mean,
yeah, he's got that arm length where he could probably start hitting you before he could even get close.
I think his father was a drill sergeant.
Oh, really?
He grew up in, from my understanding, he grew up in some of his life in Camp Pendleton. Like he was from Oceanside.
I mean, you definitely get that from his kitchens and how he runs them.
Yeah.
So, how long did it take before you felt confident, or before you felt that you had to open up your first place, and what did it take to get that off the ground? And what year was it?
I was working at Rocks with Mark Valiani. It's a Hans Rockenweiner restaurant. It was in the Beverly Prescott Hotel, now called the Mr. C, or it's on basically Beverly and Pico.
Okay.
Kind of where Pico and Soto are. Mm-hmm. I was working there. I was at a bar one night. I got introduced to a guy in a bar. I think it was run by Trivio Prado. I think it was called Cha Cha something. It was in the Orlando Hotel. It's most recently the Churchill.
Oh, yeah.
I met a guy through a mutual friend. His name was Steve Arroyo. He was a bar back at Hard Rock Cafe and was working for Italy Cafe selling coffee. And we met in a bar, and he goes, "Let's open a restaurant together." Like almost like seeing a girl in a bar and saying, "I want to marry you." Like I knew your name and your last name and your mother's maiden name, and I asked you to marry me. And
right.
Somehow, I said, "Sure, let's see. Like, what do you got?"
Yeah.
And the next day we looked at the space. Felt a little dodgy, but felt like I should go for it. The next 2 days later, he showed up with a check for $100,000, and I was 25 years old.
And what was the name of your first place?
It was called Boxer.
Mm-hmm.
And Steve and I opened a restaurant together. I was a little, skeptical on finances and stuff, so I let him hold the whole bag as far as ownership goes. And we found a space, no liquor license, bathroom in the kitchen. Opened a restaurant called Boxer together. Literally painted it ourselves. Lived in there. Took us several months to open. Did very little work. Tore the facade off, changed the facade a little bit, painted the floor. There was already a kitchen there. There was a wood-burning grill, a wood-burning pizza oven in the back. There were 2 stoves, very small, 40 seats. And, the first night we did 100 covers. The second night we did 50 covers. The third night we did 10 covers. And then it was just dead.
Just dead.
For a while.
And then, but what changed?
It just started building. It was it was the overnight success. And, we went from having 5 servers and 3 bussers and 5 cooks to having 1 server and 2 cooks.
Yeah.
And we just kept at it, and kept, I don't want to say the food got better. I think people started to get to know us a little more. And, we built a restaurant together. We got, great reviews from the LA Times, from the LA Weekly, and it really launched my career as a young chef. And it's funny, a guy like Dan Barber from Stone Barns, he was working in LA at the time. He goes, Boxer was my favorite restaurant in LA, he told me one day. And I was just like, how would you even know it was there? How would you even know? He was working at Campanile, and, but it was, inexpensive, BYOB.
A neighborhood place.
A neighborhood place that we built it to be, Brooke Shields used to eat there. It became an A-list place, and we had a good run there. And the guy who gave us the money ended up embezzling some money from some people, and we started getting subpoenas. And I decided, at the kind of the crescendo, the highest high we were doing, I just decided to walk away. I decided just to, quit. I gave my notice, and I left without a job. I just decided that I wasn't going to go to jail for this, and there was a lot of shady things going on, and I was just like, it's time for me to move on, and I moved on, and I met a guy named Will Cargus, also OD'd very recently, and he had a couple restaurants in Santa Monica. He was also partners in Jones. He had a place called Blueberry, which is like this breakfast lunch place.
Yeah.
And then he was partners in a restaurant next door called Rick's. And I decided that he wanted to be the chef there, and he wasn't happy with the chef that was there, and he fired the chef on a Saturday night after service, and then Tuesday we opened up with a completely new menu and just kind of went for it.
Amazing.
And again, kind of the same thing, slow during the week, busy on the weekends. I ended up meeting my wife there. She was the assistant general manager, and again, made a good run at it and, cooked some good food. And, it was a kind of a restaurant that I was the third or fourth chef.
Yeah.
It was like a nightclub on the weekends and kind of a fine dining restaurant during the week. And, we do 40 covers on Tuesday night and 400 covers on Saturday night. And, had a run-in with the ownership and kind of walked out with my chef de cuisine, my pastry chef, and my sous chef, met Jimmy Murphy was reopening Jimmy's in Beverly Hills, and they were, redesigning it. And so Chris and I got involved as co-chefs in Jimmy's Beverly Hills and remodeled this, kind of iconic 20-year restaurant. Bernardo china and frette linen, and just gutted the kitchen and opened this restaurant in Beverly Hills and just was absolutely killing it. Nancy Reagan was in there every night, Betsy Bloomingdale, the who's who of Beverly Hills people.
Yeah, of course. New
Year's Eve came around, we were doing $1 million a month in this restaurant. And New Year's Eve went around, we ended up going out camping the night after, went out to the woods and, no cell phone reception. This was, 2000, the year 2000.
Yeah, sure.
And came back and I had 25 missed calls on my cell phone. I'm like, somebody must have died, and Jimmy's had closed. And I found out later in my career that they basically redid the restaurant so it added more value to it. So when the owner of the building came to them and wanted to buy their lease, it had more value. So I was basically a patsy in this whole marketing scheme for the Murphys to make money, And I kind of got fucked on it. And at that point in time, I kind of decided that, I was going to give it a college try to really try to open my own restaurant, raise all the money, do my own thing. I said fine, so I left there. I was consulting at a restaurant called Moomba in Beverly Hills, or in West Hollywood. And then like 3 weeks later, 9/11 happened. It was just like the worst time in the world to raise money for a restaurant.
Well, we're going to take a quick break. We're going to talk about the road to you opening your first restaurant and Redbird and all the other restaurants and event spaces that have followed, plus some of your charity work that you do as well.
Awesome.
We have a track from the archives here on Snacky Tunes on heritageradionetwork.org.
Tonight a blue balloon blew by me on the sidewalk, pushed by the wind, past the lampposts and the trash cans. I turned around to watch it go, and it was gone. Am I light enough to lift? Oh, am I light enough? Am I light enough to lift? Oh, am I light enough? When I was a kid, I used to climb to the top crook of a tall pine in the woods behind the house late at night. Overhead, a flock of lights passing by. Am I light enough to lift? Oh, am I light enough? Am I light enough to lift? Oh, am I light enough? But I don't want to climb anymore. I don't want to leave. Oh, I'm ready to come down now. Oh, I'm ready now. I can't calm down. I can't calm down. I'm ready now to come back to the ground. I'm ready now to put my weight on a day. Oh, help me down now, help me down to the ground. Oh, help me down, dear.
Welcome back to Snacky Tunes. I am one half your host, Darren Bresnitz. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the podcast on iTunes. And if you're kind enough, leave us a review. We would really appreciate it. We are here with Chef Neal Fraser, sitting in the beautiful Redbird in downtown Los Angeles. So 9/11 hits. It's a tough time to raise money.
9/11 hits. I'm again working at a restaurant that they spent millions of dollars on, and it went from being, packed to being empty. And
I mean, at what point, if this keeps happening, do you look inward? Do you ever look inward, or do you just go, I just keep winding up in these bad situations, and at some point it's going to hit for me?
I don't know. It's like I watched La La Land the other day for the first time. It's like doing your personal, pouring your soul out into a one woman show, and all of a sudden it's a flop, and you get, noticed from it. I knew how to cook. I knew that I was tenacious. I knew that I had what I thought it took to be successful inside of a restaurant. So I just kept trying. I think I raced bicycles as a kid. I sucked really bad when I started. I got really good. I was national champion. I lived at the training center. I was a good cyclist. It didn't happen overnight. It was a lot of work.
Yeah. And, that foundation is probably helped you just stay focused.
Yeah. And at the end of the day, I really wanted to be successful. I wanted to do my own thing. I found a space I really loved. I talked my wife into being, my girlfriend at the time, soon to be after a wife. It was a really great space, and we thought it would take us 6 months to open. It took us 3 years. We had to negotiate with the current owner. The current owner was his lover. Had unfortunately passed away from HIV, and he was running this restaurant that was his partner's restaurant that his partner had started, and they started dating years into it. Right. It was called Muse. It had a great track record. It was there for, I want to say, 20 years. And I just thought that was the perfect spot. It was on Beverly Boulevard, which I'd spent, Boxer right down the street.
Sure.
I worked at Revival Cafe. I'd spent a lot of my childhood. I went to Fairfax High School. That was kind of my stomping grounds, and I felt like that was the right space. The rent was cheap. It had a full liquor license, which was really important to me. And we just whittled away at it and finally came up with a deal, and ended up taking on a partner and some investors. But at the end of the day, we opened a restaurant that we were really proud of, and I think it was a great success.
And what was the name of that place?
It was called Grace. It was named after my first daughter.
And what was it like going into business with your girlfriend / fiance / wife? How was that? Because a lot of people do not do that and try to have a separation between at home and at work.
I'm very fortunate that I've learned through trial and error, more on the error side, of how to be supportive of my wife and how for her to be supportive of me. And I think that I spent a lot of the time early on not really trusting her and making unilateral decisions that affected us both negatively. And through opening a lot of businesses together and trusting each other and realizing that there are certain things she does much better than me, that I just completely divert to her on those things. I don't second guess her. And because of that, we have probably the strongest relationship we've had since we've started dating, and we're good partners. But it didn't happen overnight. And at the end of the day, I work a lot. She works a lot. If she did something different, I don't know if I'd ever see her.
Yeah. So it's nice to have someone, sort of a family business.
Yeah. And, at the end of the day, we want to take time off. We take time off. We're the owners. We're not like, hey Ron, can I take Monday off? No, asshole. You're gonna go in there and work on Monday because I'm taking the day off. It's like there's something to be said about being your own boss, and
it's very nice. It helps. Yeah, it definitely helps. It definitely helps with relationships, especially when you and your wife are the boss.
Yeah.
So I know that the restaurant after that was BLD, but I want to make sure that we get to Redbird, because Redbird has really become such a defining restaurant of not just your career, but of downtown LA. So how did you start thinking about that? Because BLD and Grace were certain types of restaurant, and I feel like Redbird was like the next evolution.
Well, we had two restaurants on Beverly Boulevard, very close to each other. we were doing very well. The writer's strike really put a small nail in our coffin that was slowly removed after, and then the economy dropped out, and honestly BLD got busier because it was a price point restaurant that people could kind of dress up and still go to and feel like it was fine dining.
Sure.
And we lost almost all of our business at Grace, and we were not making money, and we were still holding on to a sommelier, a pastry chef, a sous chef, because we wanted to continue to make great food. And we were not making money, so we did a party down here for IBM at Redbird and or at Viviana, and in the process of us doing this very boring party for IBM, we met Annika Warden, who's still our senior sales representative here, and she said, "Oh, by the way, we're looking for a restaurant tenant." And we toured the building, and we immediately fell in love with it, and we decided at that moment we're going to sell our restaurant Grace and move it downtown and have Grace 2, whatever it's going to call. We thought it would take us 6 months. I got a loan from Wells Fargo to pretty much cover the whole thing. The landlord was going to give us $1 million, and slowly started unwrapping the onion and realizing that the building was in receivership and I needed a guarantor for the loan, and then kind of everything was pulled off the table, put back on the table. We were very persistent with the owners that we were the right tenants, the right people for the job, and they eventually changed their tune. We ended up signing our lease. We ended up taking out a business partner. That business partner ended up refinancing the whole building. We went from being one of 7 or 8 preferred vendors in Viviana to running the whole facility. We went from being, a tenant to being the owner of the building in a very short amount of time. And 6 years later, I consulted at the Strand House. Amy continued to work at BLD, and 6 years after us doing the party for IBM, we opened Redbird.
I mean, do you feel that, and obviously your career's not over, but your career to that point of all the learnings and of all the work and the trial and error led to what this restaurant was? No problem. I'll just ask that again.
Yeah.
Obviously your career's not over. Obviously, you're still cooking. You're arguably doing some of the best food you've ever done. But do you feel that all the struggles, all the failures and successes and what you learned, the evolution of your cooking led to what Redbird is?
I think so. I think we, running a restaurant through a recession really teaches you how to be smart. And I think that when you're a young chef, when we opened Grace, we probably had a 35% food cost, we probably had a 35% labor cost, we probably comped a lot because we wanted to be known as that great restaurant. And we probably made a lot of foolish decisions that in hindsight we probably could have made a lot more money, running a smarter business. We've taken everything we've learned from opening restaurants, being successful, not being successful, closing restaurants, and applied all that here. And we try to be as smart as we can possibly be about everything we do. That means like negotiating with our linen company, negotiating with our produce company, freezing stuff when we need to, trying to serve the best product we can, not being afraid to charge when we need to charge for something, and being careful on comps. We comp a lot less than we probably ever have. That's not to say we're not generous. That's not to say that if you have a bad experience at Redbird, which hopefully you won't have, that we don't invite you back in or buy you dinner. But we're trying to apply all the life lessons we've learned and try to be more successful, try to be better business people, try to really dig in and try to get the most out of our employees and be gracious, be hospitable, really go back to why we got in this business. We're in the hospitality business. I think a lot of people have forgotten that. I think a lot of chefs have forgotten that.
I agree.
We're here to make you feel happy. If you're not happy, I'm not doing my job.
No, people, and part of this is part of the culture where going out used to be something special, reserved for one night a week, and now that people go out every night a week, they can forget on both sides, both the ones doing the serving, the ones who are the service. That it is supposed to be something special.
We try to make it special. That's not to say that we don't have people that just come sit at the bar and have a cocktail and an appetizer. We want that to be special too. And that's what I really love when I have a customer and they come in and they mainly sit at the bar. They might order the same cocktail every time. They work their way through the menu and they're like, this is my favorite restaurant.
But that's the best customer.
Yeah.
It is the very forgotten about dedication to a restaurant and people coming back and being a regular. Like the idea of being a regular has fallen so far away from what it really used to mean.
Right.
It used to be, when I was growing up, we went out to eat at, I think, maybe 3 restaurants. But we always went out to one of 3 restaurants, and that doesn't happen anymore. It's like trying on like a new pair of shoes or something like that, every week.
Somebody used the term as big game hunting.
Yeah.
You don't shoot 3 Cape buffalo. And to a certain point, Grace was big game hunting. It was a big game hunting restaurant, just like Melise, just like Providence, just like Vespertine. And we were we didn't want to be the hippest, trendiest restaurant. We wanted to be a restaurant. We have a 25-year lease. I plan on being here for all 25 of those years, if not another 25 years after that. We wanted to build something we felt downtown was lacking. We wanted to build something that, is this the deepest culinary expression of anything I can possibly do? No, it's not. But I think it's smart. I think some of the stuff's safe, some of the stuff not. But I think that, we wanted to be, an institution for downtown Los Angeles. We wanted to be a place that would be here for a long time. We wanted to build something that was special, that people felt good about being in. But it wasn't stuffy. It wasn't formal. You can come in here in jeans and a t-shirt and not feel like, shit, I can't sit here because the guy next to me is in a tuxedo and he's going to give me stink eye all night. That doesn't happen here.
No. It's welcoming to all kinds. Now, before we run out of time, I want to make sure that we talk a little bit about your charity work, because beyond putting your time into restaurants and things like that, you also do what might be one of the best charity events, which just seems like a lot of fun, which is the beefsteak.
Right.
Which I know about because I'm from the East Coast. But for those who are not familiar with the tradition, what is a beefsteak?
A beefsteak originally was a political kind of friend raiser where a bunch of men in tuxedos would get together, drink a lot of beer, and eat meat with their hands.
It's amazing. My favorite though is because it used to be served on like stale bread and the bread stacking at each table and the different patterns that they do. But you do it with amazingly funny Eric Wareheim, and it's a black tie event. It's really nice. It's really proper. How did it come about?
Matt Selman, who's a friend of mine, our kids went to school together for a little while. It was kind of his idea. We were originally going to do it at another restaurant on Fairfax. Couldn't make it happen. We kind of, asked Viviana long before we'd signed our lease that, we want to do it here. And we literally planned it in a week. And when I mean we planned it in a week, I mean Amy planned it in a week. And Eric and Matt and Court Cass took all the credit for it, and still do. And
but it's charity. That's part of it.
And, every year, again, we get smarter. Like, there's been a couple of years where we've made a very small donation to the LA Food Bank. And, every year we get a little smarter. We get more donations. We get, we did the biggest VIP we've ever done this last year. We had 150 people for VIP. And, all the proceeds, all the profit went to the LA Food Bank. And, kind of Amy and mine, stance on things is, I can't write checks. I'm not a philanthropic person. I'm not there in my career. What I can do, I can donate my time. I can ask people to donate product. We can figure out ways to still give back, and that's what we do. And we do a lot of charitable work. We do a lot of charitable work here. We do a lot of charitable work out of the restaurant. And I feel like, somebody said, like, I think it was Tom Colicchio said, it's like chefs are kind of like first responders. It's like they're kind of the first responders onto like trying to raise awareness onto something, and that's kind of true. And we have a great vehicle, and we have the great ability to create something that people want to pay money for. And it's amazing. Some of these charity events we do, we do Alex's Lemonade Stand. They do this auction lot of this all-women chef's dinner. And I think last year they raised, $200,000 on 2 dinners for 10 people. 20 people, they raised $200,000, And people really want experiences now. They want, they don't want stuff. They don't want, hey, here's a diamond ring for 50% off.
Sign up for the silent auction. No thanks.
Yeah, they don't want that stuff. They want an experience. They want a food and wine event. They want me to come to their house and cook dinner. They want to come here into one of our private rooms and have a dinner. And luckily for us, we can do that. And it's it's usually a feel good all the way around. And I'm happy to do it. I'm happy to do my part and to try to help, our community and, our country, be a little more hospitable to people who don't have as much as we do.
I agree. Well, Chef, before we go, one last question. With such a long and storied career, with all the ups and downs that I think few people will be able to stick with in what is one of the toughest industries, what's the through line been for you? What's one thing that you've seen from the start that's still true today?
I mean, what I always say is, I wake up every day and try to do a better job than I did the day before. I think that, you cannot rest on your laurels. I think you have to try hard every day. You have to be present. You have to set realistic goals. You have to treat your staff, well. I think you need to, any way you possibly can, through paying them, through, we provide health insurance for our whole staff at Redbird, not because we have to, but because we feel like we should, And, we try to make a difference. Some people get it, some people don't. But that doesn't mean that we stop trying. Like, somebody fucks me over one day, screw them, I'm not going to pay for health insurance anymore. Every day we try to put on a fresh face and, try to reinvigorate it to make everybody, be in a comfortable work environment and, hopefully show up to work and care about what they do.
Awesome. Well, Chef, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. If people want to find you online or in real life, where can they go?
I'm pretty easy to find. I signed up for Facebook and Instagram and Twitter and all that stuff early on, so it's just Neal Fraser, Redbird on Instagram. Our website is redbird.la. Our event website is viviana.com.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Really appreciate it. We have another track from the Snacky Tunes archives, and then a live performance in studio on heritageradionetwork.org.
I like it better without any relation. Dead on this stuff. I will catch in a daydream without closing my eyes. Ooh, yeah. New sound temptation, can't look away. You're my fixation, I don't need a day. Taking it my way. Alright, yeah. Better run. I know you've got a secret for me. A better run. A better run. You got me flying, styling on the freeway. You got me jumping, judging by the ricochet. You got me going, I don't know what to say. I'm feeling something coming from that ricochet. You got me flying, styling on the freeway. You got me jumping, judging by the ricochet. You got me going, I don't know what to say. I'm feeling something coming from that ricochet. I just wanna love you, I just wanna hold you. I know you just wanna play like a piranha, telling lies to mama. All those people saw you twirling your hair. I'm gonna catch you and you don't care. I know you've got a secret for me. I better run, I better run. I know you've got a secret for me. I better run, I better run. You got me flying, styling on the freeway. You got me jumping, judging by the ricochet. You got me going, I don't know what to say. I'm feeling something coming from that ricochet. You got me flying, styling on the freeway. You got me jumping, judging by the ricochet. You got me going, I don't know what to say. I'm feeling something coming from that ricochet. And when you see me on the floor, I'm already writhing, because your touch is so reviving. I can't express what shape or size. Love is a compromise. I work with the grand design, yeah. And if you should leave me, I already know
Hey, this is Chef Eric from Roberta's Radio. I love eating pizza for every meal, but sometimes I've got to branch out. Bob's Red Mill makes some stellar breakfast foods.
Hey, Eric, the food in your big, bright, beautiful breakfast bowl looks delicious.
Thanks. It's muesli.
Muesli?
Nah, muesli. It's like raw granola. You should try it.
I don't know. My rich daddy buys me quail eggs and foie gras for breakfast every morning.
Well, let me hip you on to something else. Did you know Bob's Red Mill is the flagship sponsor of Heritage Radio Network? I bet you if we call Bob himself, he can convince you.
Hi, Bob here.
Wait, is this the man from the muesli package?
Yes, I'm Bob Moore. How can I help you?
Hey there, Bob. This is Eric from Heritage Radio Network, and I'm here with Mike, who I'm trying to convince to try muesli.
Oh, I love muesli. Muesli's such an easy way to start the day. I can take a bag of muesli and munch on it in my car and get full whole grain nutrition for everything I need for at least half the day.
That is incredible. But what the heck is in the muesli anyway?
It has rolled oats, rolled wheat, rolled barley, rolled triticale, and, of course, our dried fruits and the seeds that are so important to our health. It's one of my very, very favorites.
After Bob's glowing recommendation, you going to try it?
Like they say, try it, you'll like it.
All right, let me at that muesli.
By the way, you can find more delicious whole grain breakfast ideas at bobsredmill.com/podcast.
I'll check that out. I'll surf over there.
Surf on over, dude.
Baby Alpaca, welcome.
Hi.
Hello, how are you? Bring the mics to your face. We'll talk and we'll do all that stuff. Why don't you go around the room, introduce who you are and what you do in the band.
I'm Chris, and I sing and play the auto harp in the band.
Yeah, and I'm Zach.
I'm sorry, auto harp?
Yeah. The auto harp, it's a 32-string instrument, and it's traditionally a folk instrument.
Wow.
And I put it on a lot of pedals that make it sound a bit more like kind of like a synth. It's kind of like very dreamy, soundscapey feel.
And you didn't want to bring it in today?
No, we don't have it today.
Is that the thing the guy from the Love and Spoonful used to play?
Probably. Yeah,
Okay.
it's a really... it
You
can
hold it up
be
kind
there.
of-
Yeah,
yeah.
I hold it like... Yeah, there's different ways that people rock it. I used to play it on a keyboard stand, and then I just started playing it like standing up and
Different
like
ways to
rested on
rock
my
the
leg.
harp.
Oh, wait, we got
It's
one
a
last
little
guy.
More fun.
Yeah, I'm Robert, and I play the drums.
Awesome. Well, thank you.
Today's filling in with the djembe.
It's a good looking drum over there. So, who are you guys? What do you do? What do you dream? I remember reading about you saying that you started singing, walking around as a 7-year-old.
Yeah.
So it's always been your dream.
Yeah, I've always loved music and just the way I love to just kind of like see everything around me, like the world, what I see and ponder through music. I think is really fun. Like I express everything I see in that way. And I think it's what I chose as a form of self-expression as an artist. And I love the woods and would kind of like I love Disney movies and The Wizard of Oz and musical films when I was really young, and would just kind of like walk around and sing, and was always kind of a dreamer, and then ended up like moving to the city and meeting Zach and learning about rock and roll. And my mom always was kind of a rock and roller too, so like I would listen to a lot of that with her when I was young, like on cassettes.
I can see that mashup of. I feel like there's always a scene with a Disney princess in the forest singing or doing something. And who knew it would manifest itself into an awesome band.
Yeah.
I wish that you would, when you put down your influences, like if you like Sleeping Beauty or Belle from Beauty and the Beast, you might like our band.
Beauty and the Beast was my favorite. And I love Fox and the Hound, which that doesn't have music really.
Fox and the Hound's a classic.
But I love the story. Yeah, I like him with like a Belle, Fox and the Hound hybrid.
Yeah, that's good.
Give it enough time. I'm sure Disney will do it.
Yeah. And so you guys all hooked up and you met, and what year was this? When did you guys all meet?
We met 2 years ago.
Okay.
And then Robert more recently.
And Robert, we just is a newer addition, probably. Yeah. Like, when did we meet you, Robert? Do you even know?
Maybe November.
or something.
So, as you've met each other, have you added instruments to the band, or did you have other people playing those instruments?
Yeah, there were other people playing them before, so...
Sorry, dudes, no pizza for you.
Yeah, we call them the X's, but love them all.
Well, let's hear a song. Let's bust out a jam. What are you going to play first?
I think we're going to play a song called Not Strong Tonight.
Okay.
And...
All right, here we go, baby Alpaca, here live on Snacky Tunes.
It's so quiet in my room, I got the darkest view tonight. Looking out my window at the tears rolling down the hillside. Down the hillside. Neighbor's got the radio on and it's playing our song like a single on repeat. You're stuck in my head tonight. You're stuck in my head tonight. I'm trying so hard to sing another song. I'm trying so hard, but I'm just not strong tonight. I'm just not strong tonight. Tonight. If I could turn back time, I'd do it all the same. I lost my heart, I lost my brain that first night. I fall in love so fast, it's just life. Like a high bird flies. You are my love, you are my life. And when you left, I thought I'd die at the sight of your back fade into black in the night, the night, the night. I'm trying so hard to sing another song. I'm trying so hard, but I'm just not strong tonight. I'm just not strong tonight. Tonight. And the day went away, I felt just like a stray, singing blue tunes in an alleyway, playing our song, playing our song, playing our song.
Nice. Was that our song?
Yeah.
Playing our song together?
Our song.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's
Awesome.
really nice.
Really nice. Perfect
Thank
music
you.
for a day like today.
Yeah, I think our song was referring to another song on our EP, and then also on our record. It's called Run With You, and it's like we've been rocking it for a while.
Self-referential to the music?
Yeah, it was just like something I was thinking about because the song Run With You is just like about, is very much like about your friends and the way that we stick together and like help each other as artists and as people and just like having fun in the world and like in our lives. And then just kind of if you lose that, it can just be really lonesome. And it actually, like, in my own personal experience, losing it after I even wrote that song Run With You, and then regaining like friendship again and seeing how important something is, and when you realize when it's gone, that made me write Not Strong Tonight.
I think gaining and losing friendships is a big part of New York that a lot of people don't always feel comfortable talking about, but it's probably one of the toughest things to maintain in the city is a lot of close friendships. You can have a lot of friends and a lot of people that you know and go out and that, but the real close friendships, they take a lot of work. And the good ones can go away and come back. That's the other thing people don't tell you is that I think you may that's not what see that somebody.
Uh,
Oh Oh
I think that's what that show Girls is about.
my
actually.
god, that girl, that show cuts a little too close to the bone, I would say.
I feel like I'm the only person that hasn't seen that. I mean,
You know what?
It's about
Seen
girls
it,
living in
like it.
Brooklyn,
I'm good with it.
It's the most
Yeah.
important show ever.
It's the most realistic show.
That and True Blood.
Yeah. That is CSI Miami.
It's the Brooklyn
CSI.
vampire sex show without so much the vampires.
Takes place on a manor in the English
Yeah.
countryside.
So you guys live around here?
Yeah, I live in Williamsburg on Bedford.
Where are you guys?
Subletting.
Subletting. It's a hot spot. We're
Yeah,
just
hot
talking
spot.
about. Are you
Yeah.
guys eating any of these new restaurants? Where do you guys eat when you're in town?
Roebling
Yesterday
Tea
we
Room.
ate at Roebling Tea Room. That's my fave burger.
It's a great burger.
It's so good.
That's
it's
a great
like
restaurant.
grease ball of a burger.
Yeah.
It's a great restaurant in general, yeah. And I just love the burger. And I also love this, like, everyone that runs it and works there. I
Have
think
you
it
seen
has
Bill
a
Murray
really
there?
Good attitude. I never have. No, but my friend has. My friend Rory.
Bill Murray's son works at Roebling Tea Room, and he's been known to.
Isn't it his restaurant?
Does he own it?
I think so.
I don't know.
I think
Bill
wouldn't
Murray
you
owns a
maybe
lot.
would know.
I thought that Bill Murray's son was like a sous chef there or something. I don't
Yeah.
even know if
He's
he's still
one of
working, but the chef there, actually, Dennis Spina, who's been there for years, is, I think, a pretty talented dude. They're opening another place in Greenpoint, too, actually.
Greenpoint, man. Greenpoint's
I
on
know.
fire.
Yeah.
Do you guys cook a lot? Do you guys cook a lot when you're in the studio?
I love cooking.
Really?
Yeah, I'm actually really. I would say I'm a pretty.
How are those knife
good
skills?
cook.
On a 1 to 10.
Zach, you should
Yeah.
rate it since you've had a lot of my cooking.
I mean, his knife skills are 10.
10?
Straight up, yeah, they're really.
Nice. Oh yeah, I'm a fast knifer.
Yeah, it's
though
amazing.
I have slipped up with it and cut myself.
But you're not a 10
that's
with
a badge of
sauce.
honor.
Yeah, exactly.
Have you guys ever had to write a tour writer of, like, food you want for your dressing room?
That would be cool. Usually we don't
We're
eat
trying
too
to
much
get there.
before shows.
Yeah.
Got it.
So
I'd like to have a big writer just so we can see like the fabulous spread, but maybe we eat it after the show. Yeah.
Yeah, single and double stuff Oreos, right? Both.
Right.
So what do you
Always.
cook? What do you make?
I think I love to make pizza.
Really?
Yeah.
At home pizza's that's a tall
It's
tall
really
order.
Cool. Yeah, it's so much better. My pizza's been also compared to like a lasagna because I like to put tons of stuff on it and in it, and usually like to do a lot of like themed pizzas too, like Mexican pizzas because Mexican food is also one of my favorites.
And you do the cheese underneath the sauce. Don't
Oh,
you?
like Chicago style.
Yeah, use some under, some on. Sometimes like a lot of. I also like to make braised short ribs. Are one of my
Oh,
favorite things.
that's great.
Yeah, I love
Set
the
it and forget it,
slow
right?
cook and stuff is so good. Yeah, 4 hours later.
It's really good. It's just I usually find that when I'm braising, I have to have a mid-braised snack of something on hand
Yeah,
because the whole house starts smelling
Yeah.
so good, and you go, all right, I'm not going to make it 4 to 6 hours.
I need a slice of pizza or something.
Yeah.
And one thing that I would like advise anyone making at home pizzas is, especially if you're a New Yorker, is to go ahead and like go to a Ray's Pizza or any of the pizza shops and use their dough because it takes a lot of the time and preparation like out of the cooking, and they'll do a much better job than you will at home.
Yeah, dough is the trick.
Yeah.
And you can stretch those doughs to like 2 at-home pizzas.
It's so easy to do, yeah.
Yeah. Let's hear another song.
Okay, yeah.
Let's play Run With You.
Yeah, let's play Run With You. Let's hear what our song is all about. Here we go. Baby Alpaca again here on Snacky Tunes.
When the water's on the rise, the waves are getting high, getting rough, you stay with me. When the going's getting tough and life is on the rocks, you stay up, you stay with me. stick with me. When the moon is on the rise, the people drop like flies. You stay up, you stay with me. I'll run with you, 'cause you're always game. We'll ride on forever, take me with your wild ways. 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 Show me the way. When the race is getting hot and people start to drop, you keep up, always near me. When the trail is getting long, I start to fall behind. You pull me up, you stick with me. I run with you, 'cause you're always game. We'll ride on forever, take me with your wild ways. 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 Show me the way. When the rain begins to pour and people shut their doors, you open up, step out with me. When the heart is on the line, you never say it's gonna be fine. You just stay there with me. I run with you, 'cause you're always game. We'll ride on forever, take me with your wild ways. 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 Show me the way. Show me the way.
Very nice.
Thank you. Thank you, Roberta.
That was a great song.
That was great. Yeah, the infamous effects button that got taken away from us.
That's awesome.
Because we used to play drops instead of hand claps. So what do you guys have coming up? What's on the docket?
Yeah, we have a few things going on. Right, it's been really fun lately because we're, as a band, like, have been playing a really long time and really like honing in on our craft and like on playing together and working on all of our recordings, which we have done in so many different places, and it's been an amazing experience. We just like finished recording 16 songs.
Wow.
And like worked in a studio in LA for a long time, finishing them all up, and I'm really excited with how they turned out, and finally are starting to like, you know, kind of come out as a band, and it's been really fun to finally actually
Get to play
be able
out.
to play out and like spread the music around. And we're about to go to LA and go to Palm Springs in the desert, and we're working on like music videos and some of the other like art and creative projects that come along with like being in a band.
But we should
which
plug
is
the show
really
that we're
cool.
playing. We're playing on the 19th at Pianos.
Yep, we're playing
That's
the
it.
19th at Pianos, so that'll be cool. And we're probably gonna, you know, play a show in LA when we go there too. And we're about to start releasing singles from our record, and then we're gonna release an EP in April that has 4 of the songs from the record on it. And then we'll like release our video around then, which is for the song Wild Child.
Awesome.
Which is one of my favorite songs.
Are you guys always a 3-piece?
We've played with many configurations. We're a 4-piece. Usually we have a bassist that we play with, and then we also play with strings sometimes, so that can turn us into like a 6-piece easy or 7-piece.
Piano.
And a piano. but Zach plays the piano too, so we don't have like an extra person for
Some
that.
of the songs we wrote to do like either on guitar or piano, depending on, because pianos are kind of more rare.
Yes, so sometimes
and we like live pianos, real pianos.
And who are you playing with at pianos?
We're playing with a band called Teletextile.
That's a good name.
Yeah, and my friend Pamela is the singer in the band.
And where did you get your name from?
We're called Baby Alpaca. I wrote a song when I was first started writing music. I had a sweater that was made out of baby alpaca, and I also had a dog, a black chihuahua named Apple, who passed away. God bless her heart forever. And I was just holding her in the sweater one day, and I started writing a song. It was like, would you be my baby alpaca? I would keep you warm from the frigid weather, save you from the storm. Would you be my baby alpaca? I would keep you warm from the January cold and breezy winds. Would you be my baby alpaca? I will keep you cool in the heat of summer, shave off all your wool. Will you be my baby alpaca? We could have some fun. Let's go skinny dipping out on the pond.
Nice. Very nice.
And then I was playing my first show. It was actually in Ohio, where I'm from, and they were like, what are you going to call yourself? And I was like, I really like the name Baby Alpaca, as a song. So I went by that one first day, and then just kept rocking it, and then now we've become a band of baby alpacas.
Amazing. Is there a name? It's like a murder of crows. Is there a name for a group of alpacas?
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know.
A fluff?
A flock?
A fluff.
Well, I want to thank you guys, and before we have you play us out, what are the nuts and bolts of website, SoundCloud, Twitter?
Yeah, our website is babyalpaca.ca, so it's babyalpa.ca.
It's a Canadian website.
Nice.
Canadian website. It's a very clever play on WWs by my friend Tyler Love. And you can follow us on Twitter at babyalpacalove and on Instagram at babyalpaca.
And SoundCloud.
And we also have a SoundCloud.
Amazing. So I want to thank my guests, Baby Alpaca, Greg, Joe, Jack, Heritage, Aaron, everybody. It's been amazing.
Thank you.
What are you going to play us out with?
Let's play it, and on a high fun note, this song's called On the Road.
Okay, here we go. Baby Alpaca one last time, live on Snacky Tunes.
Maybe can you turn down that effect a little bit?
Yeah.
Life on the road, life on the road. Life on the road, life on the road. Life on the road, life on the road's a place with you where I call home singing. We talk about food, we talk about music with musical dudes. Finger on the pulse, Snacky Tunes.
Thanks for listening to Heritage Radio Network, food radio supported by you. For our freshest content and to hear about exclusive events, subscribe to our newsletter. Enter your email at the bottom of our website, heritageradionetwork.org. Connect with us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at heritage_radio. Heritage Radio Network is a nonprofit organization driving conversations to make the world a better, fairer, more delicious place. And we couldn't do it without support from listeners like you. Want to be a part of the food world's most innovative community? Rate the shows you like, tell your friends, and please join our community by becoming a member. Just click on the beating heart at the top right of our homepage. Thanks for listening.